Hello, my name is Renzer. I'd like to talk to you about something today. In the background you'll see some Kane gameplay while we establish the point of the video. I'd like to start by saying sorry for not posting any videos lately, but a combination of work, family issues, and life kept me away from Planetside and my any other hobbies. Anyway, let's get back on track. So tell me, have you ever been in that game where one of the people playing obviously had some unfair advantage over you? And I don't mean a better computer, frames, refresh rate, or knowledge, but blatant hacks. The guy could always see you, track you wherever you went, and could always open fire at the exact moment it was possible to hit you. It was frustrating as hell because you couldn't react in time to counter him, and I bet that from time to time you wished you had the ability to know without hacking where people were and to be able to shoot them before they had any chance to realize what's going on. So yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But how can this be possible without using ESP or some other hacks, right? How can you know in advance where people are, and how can you shoot before you know where the enemy is? Well,
I think it's already.
my big question is, what's stopping you from actually doing it?
Ceasefire! Cover friendly!
Triple kill. Multi-kill.
What? ESP without hacking? You guessed it, it has a name. Welcome to the tutorial. Prefire. So what exactly is prefiring? Well, it's just a tool that people use to be better than the other player. And you realize how important it is when you come to the conclusion that there is only so much you can do to be faster. Now, what do I mean by that? Normally, when we see a target, we peek, we notice that somebody's there, we realize that it's the enemy, and we shoot. This process takes a finite amount of time, and it varies according to the skill level. For the sake of the argument, let's just say it's about half a second. What prefiring does is it cuts the equation in half, making you seem so much faster. The argument could be made that prefiring is an advanced tutorial, because to be able to prefire correctly, you need to understand the need for correct crosshair placement. Now, there are two basic ways to prefire. The first one is what I call 2D prefiring, and I use it when my knowledge of the enemy's position is limited, or I know they are holding down a corner and waiting. To be honest, this is just my crosshair placement video plus holding down the trigger. The idea behind this is that by firing while working the corner will give me enough of a time advantage to beat anyone waiting for me, thus allowing to clear a well-protected position. Here's another example of the same concept. And one more just for kicks.
Damn, son.
Okay, so that's number one. What's number two? The second way of prefiring you use when you have more knowledge about where the enemy is and more knowledge about the terrain you are in. In this video, you will notice that once I get pinned down in a corner, I will realize where the enemy is coming from, and I'll place my crosshair in that point without actually seeing them. And I'll open fire and readjust if I need to. This kind of positioning your crosshair not only at the edge of your vision, but through a three-dimensional space is what I call 3D prefire. Please notice that I'm lining up my crosshair on a point about 40 meters away from me. I left the last clip a bit longer just to show you that pre-firing involves a lot of missing, and you shouldn't be discouraged by that because when it does work, it'll work wonders. Same concept, next example. Also remember that the minimap is your friend. It can show you where the enemy is, and then all you have to do is imagine how the 2D display it shows will look in your 3D world. Knowledge is power. When you know exactly where the enemy is, and you don't need time to find them, there is nothing they can do to react to you. That's why people hate rocket primaries so much. This next clip shows how the concepts we talked about in this video work, and how both them and the ones covered in previous tutorials can be implemented into live gameplay. Well, I missed a bit. Told you it's a failsafe. Pre-firing works because we are all creatures of habit, and whether we know it or not, people like to stay in the same spots or cover the same angles time after time. This is why with experience, you can clear or enter a room and fire into positions that people like to be in, and you've got a high chance that you're going to hit somebody. But pre-firing doesn't always have to be a method of attacking. It can be also a method of defending yourself if you are ambushed or surprised by an enemy coming your way. Because of the nature of the game, that we all see each other in the past, and technically, if I see you, I see a shadow of you. I see you where you were 3 seconds ago. You can use that to your advantage. Some people call it baiting, but there is like two different ways of using it. When you're surprised, what you can do is you can fall back to cover and pop out and attack somebody, and you've got a split second of an advantage where you see the guy, but for your enemy you are still behind cover. I'll show you a few examples.
One less enemy max. Got a hostile max in the area. Come out.
One in the galaxy.
Outstanding.
The next way of using this to your advantage is when you get attacked, for example, from behind, and you have cover somewhere near you. You recognize that you're attacked, and instead of trying to turn around and face the enemy, which is possible very hard, you use this latency difference to your advantage. You pop into cover, and then you pop out to attack the enemy.
Punkt. Sicher. Wenn die hier Stress machen wollen und dann hauen wir sie erstmal ordentlich weg.
Ja zrobię najpierw dyrektywę na light. 300 killi na SMG i 800 na shotgun.
Yeah, me too. Harass, I don't know who...
Here's a bit of a broader perspective. This is me tower stumping just for fun. I want you to notice what happens when I get attacked from the back in a few seconds.
Okay, for sure.
Califan, have you played the latest few maps in Payday?
Nope.
They're quite good if you want to play them. Dude, quite fun. Like it's
fun.
It's co-op PVE, so it's not particularly hard. Although
And you have to
definitely
be
it's quite hard.
very sneaky.
There is sneaky options, but most of the missions aren't actually sneaky.
Can anyone revive me, please?
But if you do get it, give us a shout anyway, and I'll play with you.
And so we covered the basic and most important things I use when I try to pre-fire. Now, if this doesn't click with you from the get-go, don't be alarmed, because To do this correctly, you need a lot of experience with crosshair placement and at least some basic knowledge of the maps you're moving around. I guess in terms of Planetside, the continents. Like always, the key factors are experience and time. So don't push yourself too hard, let this come naturally. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you both on stream and in-game. Renzer out.